Guys, Jay, Product Performance here. Continuing on with this 31 Ford. So my next move here is I'm going to make a cross member for the transmission. I'm going to do this a little bit different than traditionally what I've seen. I don't know that it'll work out better or not, but here's what I'm thinking. So we're going to try to put exhaust underneath the car and out the, over the rear axle and out the back. Owner, we've talked about side pipes and things, which would be easier in this car and would look cool, but where he wants to drive it a lot and things, he's just kind of worried about maybe people getting burned on the side pipes and things. Side pipes look cool, but not real practical sometimes. So I want to try to maximize the amount of room in here for the exhaust. I'm sure we could do it. I don't think the cross member would necessarily be a problem, but also a couple other reasons. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute here. This will make sense, but I want to make this simple and quick. I have a way here. I want to fabricate this that I think I can do a little quicker. And I'm also using stuff that we have, so we don't have to buy metal and stuff like that, because I'm really cheap. And even though this is not my money, I'm trying to save the owner some money too. So alright, so here's what we got here. This is a piece of square tubing that I'm donating to the project. I had this hanging around, and what I'm going to do, I'm about to mount this, so it's going to go inside the frame, not on top like this, but I want you to be able to see it. So this is going to go approximately in this position, and I'm going to weld this in. And what it's going to do here, this is basically our cross member, but it won't be removable. So if you look here, this is only 1/8 inch wall, and I wanted this. I didn't want to have nuts on the other side and anything like that to mount the transmission mount. So what I did, this only being 1/8 inch wall, I don't know if you can see, I had tapped these at first, but it's just not enough thread. I didn't feel comfortable with it. So what I did was I put 1/2-13 nuts inside the tubing. And if you look here, you can kind of see some where I ground it. And I had put 2 holes here. And what I did is I used the TIG welder, and I TIG welded the nut inside the piece of tubing. Okay, so that's captivated in there nice and solid, so you don't have to worry about a nut or anything. This is going to be real easy to take on and off. So what we have is this piece here. We have some metal left over from when we boxed in the frame, and this here was almost the exact length I needed, just a hair short. You can see the jagged cuts on there. This is just a piece of scrap that was left, but it's going to be usable. I try to use everything. I'm a real cheap bastard like that. But so anyways, I put 2 slotted holes here. So then this will go in, line up with these, and go in with the 1/2-13 bolts. Of course, this is upside down. I'm going to flip this over. So this plate will be held here against this beam. And then the other thing I did, with that same material left over from boxing in the frame, I just cut a piece to the right length and drilled 2 holes. And this is a transmission mount, and that's going to go onto the transmission extension housing, of course. So what I'm going to do, my idea here to save time and material and also space for the exhaust. If you kind of look here, so this is a really terrible sketch, but this is that piece of square tubing. The plate that I have that I showed you is going to bolt to here, and then we're going to make these side pieces, and they're going to bolt to this plate where the mount is. So my next move is I don't know how far I'll get with this today. I would like to try to do it in one video, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It's like 100 degrees in this building, and I'm already getting a little bit loopy. But anyways, so I'm going to weld this cross piece in, get that in place, and then I'm going to kind of mock this up, and then I'm going to take some cardboard and, you know, figure out what my side pieces need to look like, and then I can get this, you know, tacked up and all that. So bear with me here. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm not doing a good job of explaining this, but so first step, I'm going to get this piece tacked into the frame. So it's just a matter of measuring it and making it somewhat square. It's not real critical. That's why, you know, we have slots in this plate. So the other thing too is, again, you know, my mind likes to think simple, likes to actually get these projects done. So I'm not getting real fancy with this, but so if we need to, and I'm sure this will happen, if we need to adjust the driveline angle a little bit, which I'm sure we will, you're either going to shim, you'll either shim between this plate or the other plate, depending on, you know, whether you need to go up or down. And so we can just make shims and adjust the driveline angle if needed later on. So if you're thinking, well, hey man, you know, how are you going to adjust things if you need to? Well, I've already kind of thought that out. So that's the plan there. All right, let me get to work here. I'm going to try to get this cross piece tacked in. So I'll be right back. You don't have to watch me struggle with that. All right, I'm back again. So I got this cross piece. I C-clamped it. I didn't feel like welding it. I mean, honestly, it'd be easy to weld it in once the body's off and things are out of my way, but I don't like to make a commitment if I don't have to. Don't tell my wife that. So anyways, that's going to be fine for now. So that's C-clamp where I want it. If for some reason I feel like I need to move it, I'll move it. But alright, so this plate's bolted in, kind of centered up in the slots. And then let me get underneath here. I got the mount down there. So if you look, so basically what I got to do now is figure out, make a piece that'll weld onto here and kind of come up and attach to this plate. This plate probably doesn't need to be that long. I might trim some of this back. And so I got to make the side pieces. So I've got some cardboard here, and I will make it out of a piece of cardboard first. Once it looks like what I want, then I'm going to go and get some of this, more of this flat plate that we have, and cut it out with the plasma cutter, and then weld these on. Okay. And we've got on the other side, the speedo cable goes in. I just got to make sure we got clearance for that. So now you kind of get in the visual. It's a very simple little mount, and I'll probably need to reinforce the sides a little bit, maybe, just to be sure. I'll give that some thought once this is kind of made and tacked together. and I'll take it out of here and take a look at it, and you know, because there will be some stresses on it, not tremendous, but we want it to be pretty solid. So, and I can't find my scissors to cut the cardboard. That's really frustrating, but I will improvise there. So let me get the cardboard out and make my side pieces, and I'll show you that, and then we will plasma cut them. Hang on again. Okay, here it is. On the driver's side, where the speedo cable goes into the side of the extension housing, doesn't look like we're going to have any issue there, so that's good news. So now that I got my cardboard cut out here, I'm going to cut the real thing. And I'm going to do that with the plasma cutter, and we can, you know, grind it up, dress it up, and all that later, make it look somewhat pretty. All right, let me go do that. I will be back again. All right, guys. Sort of kind of got this tacked. Had a little bit of a mishap with the welder. When I was trying to tack over here on this side, I couldn't see what I was doing, and I ended up melting the electrode to the tip and ruining the tip and whatever. So no big deal, fixed that, but it's tacked up enough, and I can kind of straighten this all out and do the final welds on the bench. It's kind of a weird mount, but I think it's going to work just fine. I'm going to add probably in this corner, I'm going to gusset it just to make it more, you know, just to give it more lateral support. And you know, it's hard to say if it really needs that or not, but let's do it anyways. So let's see. I don't know how much time I got into this. I'm trying to think, because I cut the plates, drilled the holes, and milled the slots in it. Did what I did today. I don't know. I've got probably 2 or 3 hours into this thing, which isn't bad. And I make $875 an hour, so that's pretty decent money. Nah, I wish I made that much. I think it's more like $8.75 sometimes, but anyways, no, that's not really relevant. But so yeah, not too bad. You know, let's say about 3 hours into this thing roughly. I'll go get it. You know, I'm gonna go and finish weld this in the nice air-conditioned building instead of working out here in the 100-degree building. And I'll do a little grinding on it, and it's going to look good. I trimmed this plate back like I was telling you I was going to do. It didn't need to be that wide. And that's about it, guys. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to go to the other building. I'm not going to finish this in here. And I don't have any more tips over here for this welder, so I've got those at the other building too, so I'll go and do that. Alright guys, I'm going to stop this video. I'll show you this finished at some point, probably on the next video. I'll show this all mounted. Next thing is, so a couple things that have to be done, I think. I gotta figure this out. We got a brake pedal that needs to mount onto the frame. I gotta figure out where that's gonna go. And then once I figure that out, this front floor pan here is gonna need to be cut, modified, welded. So we're basically just gonna finish the floor up in this thing. Once I do that, then we're going to mount the body with rubber insulators permanently onto the frame. So those will be the next videos coming up. Alright. that's good for today. Appreciate you watching, and if you want to follow along with this car here and watch me screw it all up, but if I screw it up, hey, we'll just fix it, right? The screw-ups are the fun part. You can always fix this stuff. It's not a problem. But okay, guys, appreciate it.